This is all that's left of the Minister Stein coal mine in Dortmund. It used to extract up to 2 million tons of anthracite coal at its peak. Today it's an industrial monument to better times. A lot has changed since the coal mine was shut down in the late 80s. The Ruhr region used to be at the heart of Germany's coal and steel industry, the driving force behind the German economic miracle. Today, it's one of the country's poorest regions. Unemployment is about 11%, compared with a German average of about 6.8%. The industrial ideal no longer exists. 1 in 5 is at risk of poverty. We're on the way to Dortmund, in the heart of the Ruhr region, home to 580,000 people. Birgit Zöllner is the head of the Labour, Health and Social Affairs Department.
Das ist eine Region, die ist geprägt vom Strukturwandel.
This region is affected by what we call structural change. It led to a shifting in the demand of the industrial workforce. Workplaces don't exist anymore. The unskilled work sector has disappeared. That led to a relatively high unemployment rate in the Ruhr region. For me, this is the main reason for rising poverty rates. It's directly linked.
Dass die Armutsquote steigt. Das hat einen unmittelbaren Zusammenhang.
As Germany suffers from a poverty rate of over 15%, Dortmund deals with more than 24%. A charity report says that the development of poverty is no longer linked to Germany's economic development. In 2011, the German gross domestic product increased by 3.8%, but poverty did not decrease. On the contrary, poverty rose by 4.1%. The German poverty rate used to be linked to economic growth. More growth, less poverty. Not anymore.
Armut ist, wenn Menschen nicht mehr an gesellschaftlichem Leben.
Poverty means that people cannot take part in the life of society. There are figures that define poverty throughout Europe. If people have a monthly income of less than about 850 euros, they're poor. This is a figure that's been calculated. But it's not just that. While poverty is about taking part in society or not taking part, it's also about opportunity. In Germany, we say that everyone has equal opportunities, but in reality, not everyone has the same chance to succeed.
Auch nicht die gleichen Chancen zu haben, weil wir haben eine Chancengleichheit in Deutschland, wir haben aber keine Chancengerechtigkeit.
53-year-old Dana came to Germany from the former Yugoslavia 40 years ago. Since losing her job, she relies on charity food handouts. After bills, she only has 190 euros to live on a month.
That is unfortunately very little, because everything is getting more expensive, the food and everything else. I can't afford anything, cannot go to the cinema or to the theatre. Life is cruel. Now I'm forced to go to the charity for food.
Und ich bin dazu gezwungen, jetzt zum Tafel zu gehen. Also zum Tafeldienst. Mein Essen abzuholen.
I've recently been rejected for a job I applied for. I was really down and depressed for 3 days.
Mir bleibt nichts anderes übrig. Das ist ganz grausam. Letztens
I cried because I did not feel well after this. For me personally, this is very upsetting and I really can't handle it.
Weil ich fühle mich dann nicht wohl dadurch. Und das ist grausam. Also, für mich persönlich ist das sehr grausam.
I don't feel like a human being. I feel like half a human.
Ich fühle mich nicht wie ein ganzer Mensch, sondern wie eine halbe von Menschen.
What keeps me alive is my ability to think a little more positive these days. Before, I was not able to.
Denken habe, etwas, aber habe ich gelernt. Hatte ich früher nicht. Manchmal war es so, dass ich nicht mehr
But I can handle it a little better, thanks to psychological aid.
Ich habe es wieder in den Griff, mit psychologischer Untersuchung, mit psychologischer Hilfe.
Dortmund, home of the football club Borussia Dortmund, winners of 8 German football championships. The club was founded near this square in one of Dortmund's poorest areas. 29-year-old Stefan Kanitz is head of the CDU party in Dortmund.
I believe that the minimum wage does little to help avoid poverty. We can look to France to see the proof. The French minimum wage is about €9.50 an hour. The poverty rate there is much higher than in Germany. This must have something to do with the period of good economic development in Germany, especially with creating jobs subject to social insurance contributions. But some of the problem is that North Rhine-Westphalia is not linked to what's going on in the rest of Germany.
In Dortmund, this building is known as the Horror House. 18 floors, 100 apartments, all empty. The building's been condemned by the town and is waiting demolition. In the past, a lot of mining and steel workers lived here. Today, the area is home to 54,000 people. 44% are immigrants, 27% unemployed. Drug dealing, alcohol abuse and prostitution are rife. How can people leave this process of urban decay and poverty?
For me, the unconditional basic income is a better investment into the future than any social welfare aid, because unemployment benefit is not the normal situation. It's considered normal to be working and competitive. That's according to a government report on poverty. It's cynical to say you must be competitive. It's also cynical to define a citizen as working. An investment into the future that will have a positive effect should not be considered unusual. Everybody should be treated equally and told you're valuable. It's good that you're here. Do something with your life. Play your part in society.
Dortmund City Councillor Birgit Zerner prefers to fight poverty by abolishing long-term unemployment.
To me, it's obvious. We can only abolish long-term unemployment when we get more public sector jobs on a grand scale. You know that the astronomics industry is 100% funded by grants and subsidies. Society widely accepts this as normal and necessary. We need the same level of enthusiasm and acceptance for abolishing long-term unemployment.
Poverty in a period of change. And even in Germany, where the economy continues to grow, it seems the gap between rich and poor continues to widen.